Weeks of Beauty. And today's video is just going to be little tips and just like updated info on the EZDIP nails. I just posted that video a couple weeks ago and some of you girls have tried it, and there's some questions floating around out there. And also I have tried it and taken it off and removed it and applied lots of colors, as you've seen on Instagram. So I feel like I kind of have a little bit more info than I did even a few weeks ago. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I also got a little message underneath that video from Maria this morning that said she got hers done at a salon. A salon near her had the EZDIP, and she said she's had hers done for a week and they still look great and she loves it. And she came home, and anyway, I'll read it to you. As soon as I got home, I looked up on YouTube for reviews, and as far as I can see, you are the only one with a review so far. Please, please, please make more videos. I want to do it myself, but I'm scared. I'm bad at doing my own nails. So I was like, okay, Maria, I'll do a video. I think that's a great idea. So I wrote down a list of a bunch of things I kind of wanted to cover really quick, and okay, let's get started. Okay, when I did my video, I think I did P68, right? If I remember right, it was that like corally red, and I had it on for about 10 days. And I also did my mother-in-law's nails in the pink and white, and she had hers on for almost 2 weeks, and she didn't have any issues with like chipping or cracking or anything, but I did. So I wanted to kind of talk about that. It's not really a chip, and I get why they say it doesn't chip, because it's not like a piece of the polish comes off or anything like that. It literally is like it breaks and there's like a little piece that will just come off. So, but I really banged my nail hard on something for that to happen. But here's kind of what I was thinking. I did talk to the owner about it too, and he said, well, if you are doing, he's like, you did them really thin with the 2 coats, which is fine. But I think what works is if you have really strong nails to begin with, and you're just looking for a polish that will last you for 2 weeks, obviously this is like a perfect product for you. You probably won't have that problem. My mother-in-law had absolutely no issues. Her nails are really like a lot stronger than mine. Mine are always super thin and frail, just like my hair. Have that problem. If you have super thin nails, I feel like it could possibly break at like the 10-day mark, just a little break or like a little chip line. And he said the best way to avoid that is there's a product called Crystal Clear that is part of this line too. So I guess it's not technically a color, but it is the same exact concept, powder, all of that. And he said if you want to make them a little bit stronger, they'll still be thin, you would put your finger in the Crystal Clear first, and then you would also put the 2 coats of powder on top of that. So I think that's a great idea to do that, and that's just a little tip. So I said you can be rough on your nails, but I guess if you're super rough on your nails, like, I don't know, banging them on things like I did, then maybe you want to go ahead and just have a little bit of extra insurance with that Crystal Clear, or if your nails are very brittle to begin with, that just might help you too. Okay, here's another thing that I really like. This is all trial and error, and like that girl said, there's not many reviews out there. I don't think there is any except for this one video I've done so far, because this product hasn't been in the past sold to the public. So it's only been sold to salons, and so that's why this is, you know, I'm kind of learning with you guys, and we're kind of going through this process together. So any feedback that you can give me, that'd be awesome, and share with others below in comments or on my Instagram page, any of that. And if you want to look up some other girls that have done this, that have gone to salons and have had their nails done, there's awesome little hashtags on Instagram under EZDIP, EZDIP powder, things like that. So, and those kind of go back over the course of like, I think a year or 2. So if you want to see other colors and other girls and, you know, maybe reach out to them and see what they think, you definitely can do that. That's about the only place right now that I can see that there's info on this product. Okay, so one thing that I didn't really cover in the video, I did put it in the instructions when I list all the instructions underneath the video, but I didn't really talk about it. And one of the things that like really, really has helped me is when you are at that step that is, let me see if I can describe it, like what step it would be. It's before you wash your hands the final time, and then after you wash your hands, you put the promoter on one more time, and then the 2 gloss coats. So before that, that is where you put the promoter on and then you buff your nails. Okay, so when you're at that step, this is really important, I think, for making your nails look like totally salon, I don't know, perfect. So you take a normal file, and I'll show you the one that the owner recommended. And if you don't want to do a drill, which I don't want to do a drill. I have a drill, I got one at Sally's for like $20. It scares me to death to use it, and I've done it a little bit on my nail, and it just kind of like, I like skipped it or something, and there was like a big ridge in my nail. I was like, ah! So, I mean, I think leave the drills to the pros, but I mean, unless you're like, consider yourself a kind of pro, then go for it, but I'm just definitely not. So anyway, the file that I'm going to recommend is, I'll insert a picture. So basically he said, if you don't want to do the drill, create that kind of crescent half moon with the file at that step I was just talking about, right near the cuticle on the sides of your nail. Make it really nice and thin. Because when I did that P68, I didn't do that. And about the 7-day mark, I started to sense that I guess the top could snag on stuff a little bit because it was, you know, it was just kind of straight on my nail. I didn't really file it really close right there. So when you file it really close, you're kind of like sealing it, and as it grows out, it just looks really natural and nothing's gonna kind of snag on that part, and it's been amazing. So since I did this color, which I love, which is, I can't remember right this second, 28. I did that for this, and they're really, really like nice right around the cuticle and flat, and that's an important tip. So do that. Obviously be careful of your cuticle, of course, because you're filing so close to it with one of those rough files. So just be really careful, and of course use all of the, you know, oils way later after your manicure's done. Okay, speaking of oils, and another little tip. I recently started putting argan oil on my nails. I did coconut oil too, and I like coconut oil, but it, you know, I did bio oil in the video, which I still love that, but I was trying to do something a little bit more, I feel like, I don't know, nourishing, I guess. So, because I want my nails to look like, I don't know, perfect, because the gloss coat is so pretty, and I just, you know how cuticles can get dry, and especially if you wash your hands a lot and stuff like that. So I didn't want to have gross cuticles and then these pretty nails. So I've been really putting on like a lot of cuticle oil, like throughout the day, at night, things like that. So I did coconut oil, but it kind of rests on the skin, if you know what I'm talking about. It takes a while to absorb it. So I started doing a little research, and they're like, argan oil immediately like gets soaked in the skin, and I'm like, perfect. So I went to Whole Foods and I got some argan oil. I Instagram a pic of that too, and it's been wonderful. So the little tip I was gonna say about oils, I kind of rushed it on these nails at one point, and I put the oil on maybe about 5 minutes after the gloss coat, you know, was dry, and I just, it's too soon, because not like every nail was messed up, but there was a few where you could see the oil started to just kind of, I don't know, mix with the gloss coat, and it just didn't look right. So I would say, even though the gloss coat's kind of dry, just be a little bit cautious of maybe not applying the cuticles stuff, whatever you go with, until a while later, you know, and then I think you're good from that point forward. So one more important tip about waiting is, I'm a salsa addict, you know that, and I couldn't wait. Like when my nails were dry, I was like, I think they're okay. I'm gonna have some salsa and chips. And I literally just took like a few bites, and the salsa like got on a tip, like the little, like by my cuticle on one of the nails, and it just like ate up the polish. I was like, that's cool. Yeah. So maybe just be really careful of not eating or getting any food on your nails within like the first 10 minutes, I don't know, 20. You know, if you can wait just a little bit. I mean, it's fine, and you know, it's not a big deal, but obviously the acid from the salsa or whatever just kind of, it didn't help me out very much. Ready for another thing? Oh my gosh, this was crazy. So I think it was the gloss coat. So it was about, you know, I'd used the gloss coat a few times, and one day I was like, oh, I can't open it. And I was like, here, Pat, you know, because Pat works out like every day. I'm like, can you open this for me? And he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, you need one of those kitchen things, those rubbery things. And I'm like, I'll get one. So I got one, and he's trying. He's like, man, I wish we had two. We can hold it here, we can hold it here, and we can go crazy with it. So I'm like, let's cut it in half. So we cut it in half. I mean, it was like a process. Then I'm like banging it on stuff. I'm putting a hair dryer on it. I'm putting it in hot water. I was like, what is wrong, you know? And so I talked to the owner about this, and he said, which, it's interesting because I didn't even really pay attention to it, but see this little white clear kind of rubbery stopper? It's in all three of the liquid bottles. That needs to be removed. I guess that's only in there for shipping purposes, to prevent like leaking and spilling and things like that. So once you get it, remove it immediately, because I think the problem is there's not very much space. So if this little structure or glue gets, you know, just a little bit in there, like it sticks and it just doesn't go anywhere. One thing I did see him do, because it actually, when I was getting my nails done at the salon, he had one like bottle that had gotten really sticky because it was like down to here, and it was kind of tough to open. So he just took a pliers and he went, and it opened right up. And I was like, pliers? Like, we didn't try that. We tried everything else. But obviously, you know, you don't want to have to go to that, you know, extreme if you don't have to. So I mean, The promoter, I don't really see that happening with because it's like a drying liquid. I don't see it being sticky. Like the gloss coat and the structure, it's sticky. So, I mean, but anyway, I just remove them all. So as soon as you get this, before you even start anything, take this out, you know, make sure it's all off, turn it upside down for a second, get a tweezers. I don't know, maybe you want to put a little glove on one of your fingers or something, or a towel, because it's sticky and you don't want to be like holding it here and trying to wiggle it out and getting it on your fingers, because that'll be a nightmare. But just get those things out, toss them away. And then he said, you know, after you're done with the whole process, again, you're not doing this very often, you know, you're doing this like once every 2 weeks. So after the whole process, take a little baby Q-tip or a towel or something, like a paper towel, and put in acetone and just go over the rim and just, you know, kind of clear it all off so the top doesn't get stuck to the top of the cap. Anyway, I wish I knew that, because I like threw away 2 bottles because I'm like, I can't open these. But now that I know that I'm supposed to remove that rubber cap, which I'm going to do when this video's over, so that is going to be really helpful. Let's talk about the files. I told you about the one already for making that cute little half moon on your cuticle area and the sides of the top of your nail. So there's also another buffer that he recommended, more than those colorful ones. He's like, he said my video was great and all that, but he's like, the buffers that you recommended, they're fine, but there's a better one. So not the pink and purple and yellow and all those fun ones. I guess you still can technically, but if you're looking for one that's gonna create the perfect smooth bed of your nail powder situation before you put the gloss coat and everything, it is this one, and I'll insert another picture, but it's the black one. It has like a spongy inside of orange that doesn't really have any file on it. The black is pretty coarse, and they're actually, you can find them at Sally's, so I'll put a link below where you can get those. But that one is, it's really nice. Like, he used it on my nails and I could see a difference. It definitely is like the perfect buffer, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, another thing. I don't know, just because I'm in the process of like learning and I got really excited with this product, I was like, okay, so I just kept trying out all these crazy things. But a few days into my manicure, I was like, I want to put more gloss coat on. I mean, they're already super shiny, but why not? Why not make them extra shiny, like that totally perfect sparkle shine when you walk out, you know, from your first manicure. I kind of wanted that again. And like I said, they're already like so nice and shiny the whole time, but I just wanted that extra pop. So I just decided to put some more on top of this, and it was bad. It bubbled up, it was awful, and yeah, I had to take them all off, and that was, don't do that. So I talked to the owner again about it, and basically here's kind of what he said. He goes, you can't put, all right, once you do the 2 gloss coats, they kind of need each other, those 2, but once those 2 bond and dry, you can't put anything else on top of it. If you want to do the gloss coats again, which you can, and he showed me and it was awesome. So here's what you do. You would file off the gloss coat. Not crazy, but with that orange and black buffer. Make sure it's all off, buff, 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 make sure it's a nice smooth area, maybe get off the dust, and then you would put the promoter on, and then you would let that dry for that 30 seconds, and then you would add 2 more coats of gloss coat. You can't just do 1. If you're gonna do it, you have to do it in the 2s. So then it was fine, but I tried a few nails with that, and if I didn't buff it perfectly, then it didn't look, the 2 gloss coats didn't really like take in all parts of the nail. So my advice is don't mess with them. Like if you, you know, don't worry about the gloss coat, just let it go. But if you are just, I don't know, really need to, then that's fine. Just go ahead and, you know, do those steps I just talked about, but make sure to really buff it really nice and smooth and clear off all the dust and, you know, do all of that. And if you do that, it should be fine. Okay, so how to fix a nail if it chips. So say it chips and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't want to take them all off right now, which we're going to get to in a second because I need to talk to you guys about that too. But if it chips on the side, basically you're going to do this. You're going to file the area because you want, there's a little bit of gloss coat on that area that didn't chip, you know, that's still kind of right next to the area that chipped. You're going to file that area a little bit, and then you're going to put the promoter on, and then you're going to put the structure, which is the glue, and you're going to dip it in the crystal clear. So I guess crystal clear is really important for like rebonding it and everything. So you dip it in the crystal clear, you wait, you put the glue on it, you dip it in the color that you used before, and then you know, do the same thing. So then you put the glue, and then you dip in the powder, and then you do the promoter, and you do all the same steps. So I guess basically just make sure you file that area first, that you use crystal clear to kind of repair it. And then it basically, it looks like I could see like a smidgen just because I'm a perfectionist, where I was like, okay, I can kind of still see a yeah, like a hairline little line in there where it's, you know, seamed back together, but I don't think anybody would know. So anyway, that's just like a quick fix. Otherwise, you could just take that nail off and redo it all together. Okay, so talking about the removal process. Oh my gosh. So I have tips on. I actually bought these. I'm in love with these tips. I'll take a picture and I'll insert it. I've only found them at one Walgreens. I can't even find them online on Amazon. I can find like other versions of this, but not this. It's a really natural tip that's French kind of style, but it's like a natural faded out one. It looks really pretty and I love it. And it's thin. It's, you know, all those things that I'm obsessed about. So because I went nuts trying to figure out the fastest way to remove these nails, I lived in acetone for like 5 days. That's horrible. You're not supposed to use acetone more than once a week, ever, ever, ever on your nails. And I did it like for 5 days in a row. I had pruny fingers. I had really weak nails. I was doing it wrong. So my fingers were in acetone for way longer than they needed to be. And it was like a big drama-filled few days. And anyway, in the end, I figured out the best way, and I'm happy about that because I can share it with you guys so you guys don't have to go through those struggles that I went through. Needless to say, my nails got really like weak through all of those days of acetone that I just clipped them off and I added the tips. And I like that because I can kind of tell you guys that if you have really short nails and all of a sudden you want long, pretty nails and you want to do the EZDIP, oh my goodness, any tips will work. You don't need to get the ones that I get. I'm sure any of them will be fine. Sally sells some that are great too. And try to get more like the clear look so it doesn't affect the color of your powder as opposed to the white tips. Because, you know, even though mine's the French natural, it's really like a nice kind of almost a softer color that it doesn't look as bright white through the nail polish. But anyway, the tips are awesome and they've really held up for me and I think that's great. So they make them look all uniform and perfect, and I think it's good for now because I can just kind of grow my nails out over the next few weeks and then I can take the tips off and go back to how I was doing it before. But I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys too. If you're interested in having long nails from the get-go, that's an easy solution for that. Okay, so about the removal process, I'm going to do a video on it, but because I'm trying to let my nails have a little break from the acetone, I kind of just want to talk it through right now, and then I'll do one in a few weeks when I feel like, ooh, they've had a little bit of time to breathe. So here's basically what you do. I put up all of the instructions on an Instagram picture, on a Facebook picture, and I also just linked it on the previous video, and I'll link it under this one too. So you will have written instructions on how to remove them. But just so you guys can kind of hear me say it out loud, basically, I need a drink. It's really hot in here. Okay, so how to remove? Well, basically you need 2 bowls. I would start with glass or ceramic. There's one little product out there I'm very intrigued on, and I think I'm gonna get it and test it out. I'll let you guys know. It's plastic, but it's kind of serves the same purpose where there's a bed of water underneath and then there's like a place to dip your fingers in and all of that. But I'm a little cautious on plastic because I think acetone can kind of eat the plastic, certain plastics. So I don't wanna really recommend that because, you know, you guys could have all sorts of plastics in your kitchen and maybe some will work and some won't. To be safe, start with ceramic or glass. I don't even think metal. I don't know. I'd rather just ceramic or glass. A bowl of water, piping hot. If you want to just, you know, maybe do one of those glass measuring cups and fill that with water and then pour that in your bowls, that would be better. Okay, so then you have your 2 bowls of super hot water. Then you want 2 smaller bowls resting in those bowls filled with acetone. Not just any acetone. It must say either pure acetone or you can get the nail polish remover acetone that says removes gel, nail polish, glitter, and artificial nails. That's the kind you need. I've seen this. This is at Target. There's also one at Walmart. It says the same thing, removes glitter, gel polish. Look for those keywords because that means it's a little bit stronger, maybe like a higher level of acetone. So 2 little bowls of acetone resting in the hot water, cover it with a towel and let it sit for just a few minutes. You want that acetone to be really nice and warm. While it's sitting, buff off the gloss coat on the top of your nails. This gloss coat is, like I told you in the video, it is thick, it is shiny, it is amazing, but it is so hard to get off. Like nothing, not even acetone wants to penetrate through that gloss coat. So file it off, buff it off. The more you file it, the easier your removal process will be. Obviously, don't hurt yourself filing really fast and all that can burn. Be really cautious of all of those things. But anyway, just file off. I've tried it without filing. It will work. It takes longer. Do you really want your fingers sitting in acetone longer than they have to? I don't. So file off the gloss coat as much as you can. Okay, that's step 1, you know, or 2, I guess. You're letting your bowls heat up. Okay, So then you're going to put your fingers in the acetone. I recommend small bowls. You don't want those big old bowls. You're gonna waste acetone. You're gonna get more of your fingers in it. Just get tiny little bowls that fit all of your fingertips just perfectly. You want a little room to wiggle your fingers around in. People recommended online putting Vaseline on the rest of your fingers, I mean your hands, you know, whatever. So you're not gonna get that pruniness, or acetone's not gonna really, like, I don't know, dry out your hands, stuff like that. But I don't do that, but you can if that's something that is concerning to you. So put your fingers in the little bowls of acetone, cover up your hands. The reason for doing that is you're keeping the heat contained and you're also keeping the fumes contained, because acetone stinks. Okay, so then you just kind of go like that and you wiggle the whole time. Don't be lazy, because honestly you want your fingers out of this acetone ASAP. So you wiggle, 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 and I don't know, 3 minutes in or so, look at your nails, 4 or 5. I mean, once you do this once, you'll know how long it takes your nails to start being gooey. So once you take out your nails and you see the gooiness, there's gonna be like, it starts to kind of just fall off. Get a cotton pad and wipe that clean as fast as you can. If you want to get the cotton pad with a little acetone, because I've done it without and there's just strings of cotton on your finger. So get it wet a little bit, go like that, get all the gooiness off on all fingers, put them back in. Put the towel over, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And if you can use your other fingers, I've done that too. I've used my other fingers to kind of rub on my nail when it's in the acetone. You don't want to take your nails out when you're doing that, because it just all of a sudden the acetone is, you know, it's gone. It dries in the air and your nails will harden again. So you don't want that. You want to, obviously when you're removing that sticky gel, that's the only time you want to take them out. So you wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You kind of rub them with your fingers if you want, you know, whatever. And then just keep doing it. Take them out. Take off the gel, you know, the gooey gel, put them back in. You'll see it starts to happen super fast. And I think once you do this a few times, you're gonna be like a pro. You're gonna be like, I get it, you know, super hot water, let it heat up, da 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 da, move my fingers around, get the gooiness off, make sure to file the gloss coat off in the beginning. And then it's really quick and easy. But if you don't do those steps, for some reason, nothing works. Don't put the foils on your fingertips and walk around the house for 3 hours. It's not gonna work. I don't know, it just doesn't work. I've tried all of this. Like, no, no, no. Like, don't use just any acetone you have in your house thinking that it'll be fine. It's not gonna work. Unless it says like removes gel or glitter, or it's pure acetone. Even that one that I love that I go from Sally's, the pink one that says acetone, it did nothing for these. It did nothing. I was like, I've had my fingers sitting in here forever and nothing's happened. So trust me, don't waste your time. Just go out and get the right product, and honestly, it will make it a breeze for you. Okay, so that is truly the removal process. And let's just talk some other really quick things, and this video is probably gonna be like eons long. But, and I'm sure we'll do way more videos on this in the future. But okay, so a lot of you guys are curious on the pink and white and want me to do a pink and white video, and I want to, and I did one on his mom. I haven't edited it or even looked at it since that day, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And I did the white straight, and I wanted to do it like that cute, you know, little half moon thing, and or the smile line, and it still looked great, and it was amazing. The pink and white is just absolutely gorgeous. We did the dark pink on her with the white, and the dark pink is just a little brighter than the light pink. They're really similar, but I prefer the dark pink, and so did she. So I'm gonna talk you through it really quick in case, you know, I won't be able to do that video for probably a week or two, but if you're really like anxious to do it, it's really, really, really easy, trust me, and oh my goodness. Okay, so here's the thing. You have the jar of powder, right? You're gonna do the exact same steps. So you're gonna be putting on the, you know, do all the steps leading up to where you put the glue on. Okay, so you're gonna put the glue on, and you are going to like angle the powder jar. Make sure you're not dipping it out, and practice first on a nail that doesn't have any glue on it, because that will really help you. I didn't do that, but once you land it, like, you figure out the angle of way to put the finger, and this, you can tell you only put it in a little bit and it just perfectly forms that half moon. So once you know that perfect angle, you're good. Do the glue, do the little white with the smile line and that perfect angle. Immediately dip the whole finger in pink. It's weird, the whole nail, even over the white tip that you did. I know it sounds strange, but it really doesn't mess up the white color at all. And it makes the most beautiful pink color on the bed of your nail. So that same thing, then you're gonna do the whole process again. You're gonna put glue over the whole nail. You're gonna dip it in that cute little white, make that perfect smile line, match up what you did before, dip the whole nail in the pink, and voila, close them both up. You're done with that. And then you're gonna follow the other steps that I talked about, you know, the promoter and all that, and the top coat, buffing, filing. And I know that's a really quick run through. I will do a video, but I just wanted to let you know that it is so easy and it's so beautiful. And it was like, she loved them. She's like, I want my nails like this every day throughout the summer. But she saw this color, and if you follow me on Instagram, she's like, can you do my nails that color now? So I ran over there and did her nails this color, and it's like the prettiest color because it's like kind of gray, kind of purple, kind of changes when I look at it. And okay, last thing, maybe 2 more things. 3 things. Okay, so light colors versus dark colors. If you are wanting to try this and you're kind of nervous and you're scared and you're Maria and you're like, I want to do this, but oh my gosh, I'm scared. Okay, start with a dark color. I know that sounds crazy because you think that would be like easier to mess up, but it's not. Actually, the light colors are so much harder. That's why like I love this color and I love the one I did to begin with. All the other light ones, I'm still kind of like, I need to perfect it. It's just gonna take a little bit more time. Here's why I think dark colors are easier to work with. You can see what you're doing the whole time. Like, I don't know, you can just see everything. Like if you put in, you know, let's say you put the glue on your nail and you dip it in the powder and you're like, oh my gosh, that part of my nail didn't get anything. You can put another little piece of glue there and dip it in. You can see it really nice with the dark colors. You can't see it with the light colors. Like it's really hard to tell if your nails are kind of splotchy and you didn't do it perfectly right. So it's still, they're really pretty, the light colors, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And it's not as easy as the dark colors. So for that, if you're nervous, start with a bright color, like a bright purple, a red, an orange, I don't care what, there's so many to choose from, a bright blue, but stay away from the pastel whites and pinks and all of that. Speaking of those colors, that's the colors that everybody wants to wear every day, right? And I think that is something that I'm gonna be working on, is trying to get those perfect colors that match, like OPI Sweetheart and SC Ballet Slippers and all of those popular colors that we all love to wear just as like a neutral everyday color. There doesn't seem to be exact dupes for those at this point, but there are very close colors, but they're a little more sheer when I put them on my nail. So here's what I'm thinking. I could put a white base, maybe 1 or 2 white bases, coats, you know, of the white that comes with the pink and white, and then I could use one of those lighter pinks. So I think I'm gonna try that out for you guys so I can get exact, you know, pretty, those milky light pinks and whites and all of that, that are gonna be good for every day. But the only one I have found that I absolutely love, and it's not that hard to work with considering it's light, is P34, I think, and I'll correct it if that's not the right color. It's a white, it has some sparkles in it, but it's beautiful. Like, it's stunning to look at, and I think as of this moment in time, I haven't tried very many, that's my favorite color of them all. And yeah, I could wear that every day. It's like that wedding white that I had on. It's just like that really pretty white, and it just makes you look tan, and I don't know, just fresh, and I love that color. So that right now is kind of my favorite, but to be determined on everything else. Okay, last thing, I think, is that it? Oh, I wanted to say real quick, I think throughout this process it might be really fun if we all kind of work together on mixing colors. So I think, you know, there's 112 colors, and I'm not complaining that there should be like more, but what if we could mix some colors like I just talked about, putting the white base and then a light pink, you know, and that makes a perfect color that resembles this, you know? So same thing like that, like maybe we can mix some other colors and come up with like, I don't know, just the prettiest turquoise or the brightest purpley pink. I don't know, random things. So I think that would be fun. If you guys ever do anything like that, please let me know. Please like tag me on Instagram or anywhere you post a pic. I'd love to see that kind of thing. And very last thing for now is pedicures. Only one girl so far has done a pedicure, and she said she kind of dipped her whole toe into the jar, but it didn't work that well because it was hard to get her whole toe in. So she basically just angled the jar and dipped in just the nail, maybe angled her foot. But in the end, she figured it out and said it was fine. So that's just the only feedback I have for you at that point. Okay, so I know that was a long video. We covered a lot, but because there's like not much information out there, like Maria said, I just wanted to give you as much as I know of at this point. I'm going to be learning a lot more as we go on. I know you guys will too. Please share it with me, and I'll keep sharing with you guys. And I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.